Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Holy Saint Night here, and here is the thing. Here is how Blizzard is scamming people. So they said that they showcased PvP on Diablo 3 uh, reveal, and they showcased it at another time to show they were working on it. That was just a scam. It was a scam from the start, to help you understand what I'm talking about. Because the excuse they said is that they couldn't balance PvP. Guys, Diablo 3 was a money grab from the start. Because here is why. Did Diablo 1 had any balance preparations on PvP? Did Diablo 2 had any balance preparation on PvP? Nope. It was just allowing the players to go hostile and go neutral. And so the Diablo Lord of Destruction did any care to balance PvP? No, it was just items used for the players to fight in the campaign. If whoever wanted went and did PvP, that's simple. So that what they said that they were trying to balance PvP first, then release it. That, guys, was the the complete how can I put it? The that itself was it was a scam from the start. I realized it. I fell victim in my life on once only in my life, where I was scammed some time ago, a long time ago. But that happened only once in my life, and it was like that. I was scammed from the start. That's why I didn't understand. I didn't realize what was how I fell victim to it, and it cost me some money. Not much. I mean, anyway, let's leave this. Okay, so this is what Blizzard did with Diablo 3 since release. So they lied from the start about working on PvP and showcasing it. For them, it was nothing because they weren't going to make this game a PvP. They had it all planned. They were just showcasing it so people will like it and say, okay, cool, we got 4 versus 4 PvP and arenas. That's great. Yeah, we're gonna buy it. Yeah, sure. Everyone, that's what everyone was saying. Yeah, we're gonna buy it. They went and bought it like crazy. It sold millions of copies, 12 million copies. I think it was first week, and it kept selling. And then the players realized that there was no player versus player. What was promised wasn't coming. Of course, they didn't say it straight up. They didn't say that it wasn't coming because they weren't going to say it. They were just telling players, yeah, we are working on it. They weren't, of course, doing the job. Players were buying the game. Of course, after Reaper of Souls expansion that got released, and the Necromancer class that got released alone without an act that was supposed to be Lilith. Okay, guys, I showed you. After all this time, people started to realize that there's not gonna be PvP, that they were being scammed. And now here's what happened then. Blizzard came and said, oh, we won't put PvP because it's very hard to balance it. And you know what? People bought it. I bought it as well. Now I realized after, I mean, I wasn't playing the game, but I believed them that that they didn't put PvP because they were having problems to balance it. And then I said, what the? It came to me now. What are they talking about? In the previous Diablos, they weren't balanced around PvP. They were just PvP was just an option to do. among the main game. So what they said is it was all planned, guys. It was all planned to money grab as many people as possible, and they managed to money grab a lot of people. Uh, Utilizing the Diablo franchise. Hold on, let me. Mariners die. Hold on, what die do I have? Fury. Oh yeah, I saw it. Have a proper die. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, it's now. Yeah, then I realized that this is just. It was just. It's not just a typical daily lie. Okay, someone lies one day. Said a lie. He said a lie. Okay, it's not that. It was designed. It was a designed fraud. I mean, I can tell it. So people came up. They in the hope that not just in the hope, in the promise that it was not just a promise. They showed them PvP arenas and they played it, so they were convinced that it is going to be PvP. It was until much time has passed that PvP wasn't going to be an option. It became clear until then, and the reason they kept refreshing it, showing some PvP to the players. Okay, in the other reveals. So they said, okay, everyone would believe it. Okay, it's nothing to accuse yourselves about. I believed it too that it was going to be PvP. Of course, I didn't care to play such a game. That's why I guess I wasn't mono grabbed by uh, a big degree. But I believed them too that they were going to make PvP. So then they started to put torment difficulty levels and rifts, and I said, okay, well, what are they doing here? I thought it was gonna be. I didn't know back in the day that I could make any unique I wanted and craft any set to craft it, and back in the day the Kanai cube didn't exist, guys. So to let you know, so you had to find the legendaries and the legendary unique and set items. So it was not as it is now. So guys, from what they did, it was just how you fool. It was designed. Blizzard scammed people with Diablo 3, and they did it very. And Diablo 4, of course, and they did it in a very long time period. That's why it got, because during that scam they were taking the money. Players were buying the game, playing the game, of course advertising the game while playing it, and in the belief, because they showed them PvP arenas. So it was not just a belief hypothesis that they believed it. It was factual. There is a PvP, it's coming. Everyone believed it. And hold on. Oops. Die. I can't color this one. Yeah, makes sense. Everyone said, okay, the PvP is gonna be available anytime soon. So this the, this is actually I thought that it was the PvP was abandoned because there were no players and that the poor company tried to balance the PvP and they were working on it and they just couldn't balance it. They couldn't balance it and so
Zakarum will be restored, friend.
they were still trying to work on it and then just after they're trying to balance it all these years didn't put it at all. No, what happened is that they were not working on it at all apart from these samples, these PvP samples that they put showcased and they were never going to implement to put PvP in the game, so they used they money grabbed people. In Lilith, the expansion money grabbed the people even more without by having just the Necromancer release and then not releasing even the act that the Necromancer would have to fight the Lilith as a boss here. And then they released Diablo 4, which is Diablo 3 practically. They released Diablo 4 and put all Lilith there as the end game mob to fight. And the Inquisition was also here. Okay, it was here. You saw these quests we did. So that the Inarius temple, I mean, so for them, what costed was next to nothing. Put the same models into just another graphic game engine. Okay, the open world is that they did that costs nothing to them because they sold the game much higher, and they put PvP there. So they were having a hard time balancing the PvP in Diablo 3. Really, who falls for it? Who believes this? If that was the case, then how did they just put PvP player versus player in Diablo 4? And what's new aspect in Diablo 4? Everything that is in Diablo 3 and previous Diablos is in Diablo 4 in a worst way. So these guys, the Diablo guys, after Blizzard North, the Blizzard North has nothing to do with it. Okay, Blizzard North, the old Blizzard that developed Diablo, they were a really good company, a real caring for the community and honest company, and they would make something good or they won't make it at all. They even cancelled some of their projects because they weren't good enough. They did not money grab people at all, because if they did, they would have released these products and their people would have bought it. And I'm pretty sure they were not that bad, but because they were not as great as they were thinking them to be, they did not release them at all. I wanted, for example, to play StarCraft Ghost, but it was never released because it was not as good as they were planning to make it. So guys, there you have it, the Activision Blizzard is that made this fooled the community, we could say, and the proof is the proof that we have concrete proof about it. It's the facts that happened during Diablo 3, what was promised, what was delivered, what wasn't implemented, what was shown to what was also shown to be on the works, and like the PvP arenas that we fought and they were not put into the game. What they said that it was hard to balance the PvP and they abandoned it. That was the most childish. Only someone who is retarded would believe that, because this doesn't this doesn't didn't happen in Diablo 1 or Diablo 2. They were just the PvP was just an option there for whoever wanted uh, to do PvP. So that was there is the lie. The fact itself, the facts themselves show what happened. So apart from that, what they did in Diablo 4 and make people addicted is that they used they made the old way of finding items. Mostly, it's the old way of finding items. You no longer craft them as you do in Diablo 3, and you add the legendary aspect on it, which is which was a good part of Diablo 2. It was actually not a good part, sorry. It was the addictive part of Diablo 2, being the game being a casino. Now Diablo 3, on that regard, that is one of its good how can I put it sides, that it's not a casino. We can make any legendary or rare, we can make any legendary and unique guaranteed, and the rares are the random drops. It's the casino element that it is part of the Diablo franchise. Uh, and this game would have sold much more if only they have put the multiplayer. I mean, let's say if the company decides to come back to Diablo 3 and add the multiplayer arenas that were promised, people will still come back to it and play it. But they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because it was all a well-designed money grab. And now they have Diablo 4 to money grab people. So, as you see in Diablo 4, the PvP is there. They don't care about balance because, like I said in previous Diablos, they were not. They were not. They that thought of balancing the PvP never ever came up to the game.
Want to find more gold out there? Bring a thief with you next time.
You understand, balancing the PvP never, I mean, the company caring about if the PvP is balanced, it never I mean, to balance the game around the PvP, it never had anything to do with developing the game, because there is no way to balance such a PvP game to bother with it. What they did is they balanced the classes not to have, I mean, except the hammer deal, which was a bug, and they fixed the bug, but their players were crying and they restored the bug. But that was a bug, not that was a bug. Okay, we can put that aside because it was a known bug and it was fixed, and because of players were crying, Blizzard said, okay, let's reverse that bug. They shouldn't have done it, but well, that's what happened. So what they did is they balanced the classes not to walk around, not to have a class walk around and just killing everything with one shot. Except the hammer deal, as I said, which was not intended, but it was, but the bug was kept because community, not the community, there were just some criers who were complaining about it, and the majority of the community wanted it gone and fixed, but they didn't because of these criers who were complaining about, and they said, okay, well, let's add, let's leave it, leave it, since because they wanted to say, okay, there we go, we are. They wanted to say that they are listening. Well, they did not listen to the majority of the community. They listened to those criers who, and it was wrong to have the hammer din broken like that. Now, what happened is after Diablo resurrected is that they made Fist of Heavens broken as well instead of just fixing the Hammerdeer because Diablo is a team game, guys. Diablo 2, till then I'm talking about it. Diablo 2 was a team game and it was so well made that it could be played solo as well. And the holy damage of hammers, the magic immunes were not. It didn't. It because the blessed hammer was dealing holy damage. So it ignored magic immunities. It ignored everything in the game. Every mob, every type of resistance. There was no holy. There was no holy immunity from Diablo's minions. So the paladin became the Hammerdin paladin became the broken class. But well, whatever. So guys, Diablo 3 was a money grab from the start.
The darkness grows while we stand about.
Diablo 3 was a well-designed money grab from the start. It's not that the company couldn't balance PvP and they didn't put it into the game. They put brawling into the game, not the arenas that they were promised 4 versus 4. So they put PvP in the game. That was in a trash way because brawling is very poorly made. And where are the arenas? Gone. Where are the 4v4s that were promised? Gone. Now why did they do that? Of course because they wanted to keep their servers, not having to make 8 people servers. So that would be the 4 versus 4. They said we'll just keep them the players 4 in the game and let them go do PvP in the brawling stage that they have. No arenas, gone. So no 4 versus 4, which is what players wanted. That's why they played. They didn't play it so they can go do some brawling. And there you have it, guys. This is what truly happened in Diablo 3. This is the end of the untold story of Diablo 3 and 4, the tragic downfall of Diablo franchise.